Now, it's a bold move to say that anything is the best in Star Wars, but I can definitively say that this is the best Star Wars playset ever made and ever to be made. Now, of course, this is my opinion, but I'm ready to prove my point. And this isn't to say that throughout the years, there have not been amazing Star Wars playsets that have been loved by fans. You might have your own personal favorite, and that's okay. Now, while this also happens to be my favorite, I'm taking a step back and a subjective look at this playset, and I can honestly still say it's the best. And I'm talking about the Geonosis Battle Arena playset from Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This is a large playset for 3 3/4 inch figures, and it provides the backdrop to the iconic scene where the Jedis come in to rescue our heroes, and we are introduced to our clone trooper army. And a fun fact for G.I. Joe fans, I only just learned that the base of this playset was used in 2003, a year after it released in 2002 for Star Wars, for the Cobra Mountain playset. Actually pretty funny, they kept the base as is, even with all the battle damaged droids molded into the base of the playset. A couple of years, I take this playset out, I set up the whole thing, but this time I finally had a piece that I was missing to complete the whole entire set. So I thought, let me make this video and have a way to commemorate what this playset means to me and why I think this is still the best playset. And this is not a video in defense of the film or the prequels. I know there's lots of differing opinions for Star Wars fans, whether they like the prequels or whether they don't. It is about the best offering that has been given to us as Star Wars fans in terms of playsets. So sit back, relax, and I will give you the top 10 reasons of why this is the best Star Wars playset ever made.
Star Wars begun. The Clone War has. The Geonosis Battle Arena, where you can control all the action. Jedi heroes fight off countless enemies with powerful force action as the arena erupts in chaos.
Look!
Even the odds with the Republic gunship. The epic battle for the galaxy is in your hands. Star Wars vehicle and playset each sold separately. Figures not included, some assembly required.
Number 10, affordability. Originally, the Geonosis Battle Arena sold at retail for $39.99, which for such a huge piece was a steal even for 22 years ago. Currently, prices on the secondary market vary from $125 to $400, depending on if you're looking to pick this up loose or sealed in the box. This is an easy win. And side note, if you bought the Cantina set, you will probably have to buy 1995 to 2005 era figures because Hasbro is never going to fill out that roster of characters. And it's not like we haven't seen the Cantina set before. While no comparison, Power of the Force 2 did offer a cardboard diorama of the Cantina set, as well as the Saga Collection offered deluxe figures that came with collect and connect pieces to build out the Cantina. So, not what I would call a dream project since it has been done multiple times to a lesser extent, but the Geonosis Battle Arena has only been done once, and there are no other alternatives. So even at the high-end secondary market price of $400, I still think it's worthy of adding to your display for any Star Wars collectors. Number 9, durability. This is a sturdy playset. The plastic base is solid and strong, and the back arena of rock formations are of an equal strength of plastic. You can display the arena or take apart for storage over and over again, and the integrity of the piece is not compromised. Now, for my original Star Wars collectors, I know a playset like the original Palitoy's Death Star is highly coveted and desired amongst collectors, but unfortunately due to the cardboard construction, it's difficult to find pieces that are in pristine condition. Even the playsets made for Episode 1, like the Theed playset, was not built with such durability, and they were only released within a few years from each other. Number 8, screen accuracy. Now, almost no playset from the early 80s, 90s, or 2000s was ever truly screen accurate. Previous Star Wars playsets gave us the feel of certain scenes, but were more so screen adjacent with some elements of accuracy. The Battle Arena captures the essence of the scene but gives multiple features and a chance for play to reenact scenes from the movie. The stalagmite rock formations, sticker sheets for the crowds, and the balcony give you all of the important details to capture the feel of the scene. Not to mention action features complementing what actually happens in the film and not just added in to be more kid-friendly. Also, never truly ever being able to build the battle arena to perfectly scale with 3 3/4 inch figures, the sculpt utilizes force perspective, the bottom level being the biggest and the top being shrunken down. Force perspective is mostly used in films, but also theme park design to make the scope feel bigger than actuality. Probably the first time and only time I have seen this done with a toy. Number 7, Deluxe add-ons. Even if you had this playset, Hasbro were really clever about creating deluxe action figure sets that could attach to your battle arena. In terms of Star Wars, the Episode 1 playsets could connect together, but never came with any other attachments or add-ons. So as far as I know, this was the only time this had been done. And those deluxe pieces almost came with an army builder, which made it even more attractive. Even action figure bases were made to blend in with battle arena floor or back areas. Even items like these columns were a really clever add-on for deluxe figures, because in the movie there was 3 columns, but the playset only came with 2, so at least giving those with deluxe figures helped fill out the display. Number 6, 360 Play. Mentioning those deluxe add-ons, there are so many Star Wars playsets that are one-dimensional, but the Battle Arena allows you to use this playset in multiple ways. Using the front or the back, you can recreate many of those scenes from the final battle of the film. Other than the arena, you have space for the droid factory, the war room, and the encounter with Dooku. Depending on how you want to display this, there are options on all sides. There are even these backdrop pieces that allow you to focus on the outside battle, where you can then incorporate vehicles and figures. Number 5. Multiple playsets together. In terms of playsets, I cannot think of any time growing up where 2 of the same playsets would have come in handy, but I've seen some adult collectors pair multiple battle arenas together and it works so well. I will discuss shortly, but there are a lot of figures you can put into this playset, and in this scene right here, we're only cracking the surface of how many figures can go inside this playset. Having 2 of these would definitely help spread out all of your action figures, which brings me to the next point, and speaking of all of the different figures you can combine. Number 4, army building. This may be the only playset, let alone from a movie, that allows you to army build so many subgroups. You have your main heroes in the arena, main villains, your war council, and you have creatures and beasts. One of these creatures is the one that I was missing to really complete the set. The Acklay, which is the creature in the middle, is the figure that I've acquired to finally complete this collection. You have a variety of Geonosins, even some with cutaway action, battle droids, super battle droids, and destroyer droids. This is also the era where we were not just getting battle damaged figures, but breakaway parts so you can emulate figures getting sliced and dismembered using magnets. You can build a variety of clone troopers, and this is around the time Hasbro was also getting creative releases, offering limited articulated figures in multi-packs using the same concept of little green army men. They also released battle packs of droids and Jedi. And speaking of Jedi, this is the first time we've ever seen more than a few lightsabers on screen, and Hasbro delivered so many Jedi to fill out this arena. And I mentioned magnets before. If you were not collecting Star Wars at this time, then you missed out on a really cool action figure. Lightsaber hilts were made of metal, and figures had a magnet embedded in the palm of their hand, and a feature I always loved and gave the figure a premium feel by using metal parts. Number 3, cross-functional. When I say cross-functional, I mean you had figures from previous movies you could put into the scene and it would make sense. A lot of figures from Episode 1, like battle droids, destroyers, and some of the Jedi Council can now be paired in the Attack of the Clones playset. You might even be able to sneak in some other Jedi, Old Ben Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, and maybe Sebastian Shaw's Anakin as some background Jedi. This gave collectors the chance to fill out their display by using figures they already had while adding them into their battle scene. Adi Galeo was actually one of my favorite Jedis from The Phantom Menace, but she did not get a figure for Attack of the Clones, so it's really cool to incorporate her into this scene. 2. Continued collectibility. If you can pick one of these up, the collectibility doesn't stop. Power of the Force 2 through 2005 era of Star Wars figures are not expensive. You can start slowly adding one figure at a time to build this scene. Any vintage toy store I walk into, there is no shortage of clone troopers and droids where you can really expand those armies for cheap. Vintage Collection also offers figures that go well in here. The Clone Wars series gives us more context into specific clones and offer a lot of those figures to add to your roster of clone troopers. And despite what you think of the Acolyte show, there are great Jedi action figures that don't have to go to waste and can be used in this scene. I got this sold because frankly I can never have too many Jedi. Lastly, the Clone Wars show revisits Geonosis with Ahsoka Tano, something even adding Ahsoka to the display as part of that continued story in Clone Wars means you get to keep enjoying this playset. Number 1, Display Centerpiece. I'm not discounting that HasLabs act as centerpieces, but if I'm being honest, the Battle Arena creates a more dynamic battle scene, more figures, and tells more of a story. The HasLab Cantina wins out on detail, but not that much action happens in that scene. Not to mention, vintage collectors will never get through producing all of those characters of the Cantina. So you'll probably be buying figures from this era anyway. And while I love the sail barge, you are missing a lot of the elements that give you the full story of the scene. Skiff's rafts, the Sarlacc pit would have really elevated that. Again, not comparing details of a HasLab to a playset made for kids, speaking purely from display and play reasons. But seeing all of those different armies converge, Jedis and clones versus droids and Geonosians, the creatures, the add-ons, and seeing all those colored lightsabers really set this apart for me as the main event. Looking at the full display, there are over 80 figures set up in this scene. Now that I have all the necessary pieces, it truly looks amazing, and there's so much fun knowing I can keep adding to this display as the years go on. So there you have it, folks. Hopefully I didn't hurt too many old collectors' feelings, but this is truly one of the best playsets for Star Wars out there. And just because the prequels weren't your favorite doesn't mean that we didn't get some of the best Star Wars products ever around that period of time. Again, all in good fun. This was really just my opinion, but I've pled my case. And let me know down in the comments, was this your favorite playset? If not, which Star Wars playset was your favorite playset? Hope you all enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you next time.